something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, Peaches! Welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay, and you're our listener.
Hey there, listener.
Ho there, listeners. Hi there, all you out there in Vlisteria.
I was just about to say, prepare for Titanfall, listeners. That's not this, though. It kind of is, but it's not exactly.
No, not quite. Not quite. I mean, honestly.
Drift completed. Yeah, it's the Portal voice.
Yeah. Drift. Titanfall. Ready. I would rather have a Titanfall movie than this one, quite frankly.
Yep.
Yes, that's right, everyone in Vlisteria. Sign up and you can get your Titans. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
You get to pick which Titan you want.
They are,
the loadout.
And they all talk like Matt Mercer. It's really fun. Oh, wait, no, that's the pilot. That's not the...
The pilot was Matt Mercer?
Right? Yeah.
In Titanfall 2?
Or was it the bot? I don't remember. This is a great podcast.
We're doing a great job.
We're killing it. Look at us just saying stuff.
Nailing, just pulling it right out. The keister.
Yeah, man. That's half a podcast and just getting the mics and having something to say. Welcome, everyone, to Fix It. I am Jay. That's Adam. We are the two hosts of the amazing, full-on, world-saving reaction YouTube channel. I almost said Fix It. The reaction channel Previewed. You may know us from there. You also may know us from being the janitors that solved the equation at your local college.
Oh,
and got full rides.
We
That's
did such
right.
a good job.
Yeah, man. It was both of us. It was Goodwill's hunting. That was us. This is our podcast, Fix It, where every week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe.
Son of a bitch! It was Matthew Mercer. He's Cooper.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I knew he was. Yeah, he was
I
one
had
of the
no
main
idea.
characters. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to intro the podcast over here. If you're just,
I'm sorry, dude. I've just been playing Titanfall 2 a lot, and
this is where we take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe just wasn't drift compatible, and we fix it. And this week we are fixing the sequel to the smash hit Pacific Rim. We are fixing Pacific Rim Uprising. The truly sequel we were all excited for.
Yeah, man.
Even Kimberly was excited for this sequel.
Really?
We saw this in the theaters together, and we're both super bummed out.
Oh.
We're fixing Pacific Rim 2, but man, we're supposed to transition to our next segment now, but man, I'm just thinking about this movie, and I did this watch along with the Peaches on Discord.
Yeah.
If you have not joined the preview Discord yet, may I recommend hopping in? The water's warm. Everyone's super great there. And every week, but when we're getting ready for the episode, I do a watch along with all the Peaches, so I can get ready for the episode as well. We watch this together, and it's a stinker. It's really frustrating.
Frustrating is a good word, Jay. That is exactly what it is.
Because creatively, what was so fun about Pacific Rim is its simplicity.
Yep.
It was just like, hey, we want to see cool robots fight cool monsters.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna do that. What's the story? That cool robots fight cool monsters. Okay. How's it going to start? Well, we're just going to tell everyone what the robots are called, and then we're going to tell everyone what the monsters are called, and then we start.
And then they fight.
Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. So from a complexity standpoint, from like from a challenge rating, it's quite low.
It is.
Quite low.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, they overcomplicated it. And
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there in more detail.
But before we get into fixing Pacific Rim Uprising, we like to start our show with my absolutely most favorite segment, the best segment of all time, my absolute favorite.
Jay's favorite.
Where Adam and I just kind of get to know each other a little bit better. Not that we don't know each other very well, but it's
At this point, yeah.
in a segment we call Roll for Convo. I have a 20-sided die. Our producer, Brian, whom we love dearly, and who is also just 1 inch away from the edge of that cliff, he has come up with 20 conversation starters, and I am going to roll a 20-sided die to see which one we are going to pick today. Here comes the boom, and that is a gentleman's 6.
A gentleman's 6 gets you... Oh, this is a really good one. What are your feelings on magicians or magic shows?
What? Okay. That was not.
What are your feelings on magicians and on magic shows?
I think it's okay. Sorry, this is just not. This is wow. I was really in like big robot fight mode. Now we're clicking back to the. We're going to the magic castle.
Yeah, now you see me 1 and 2 over here. Yeah.
It's not wholly different from comedy to some degree.
Oh, they mesh well. There's
Yeah.
a lot of good comedic magic acts out there.
Yeah, I actually can enjoy a comedic magician. I think that's kind of fun. I think magic is great when it's like done. I'm impressed by it.
Yes.
I think it's really fun. It's good showmanship. From like a show business person, I can like really respect it. It's not entertainment that I actively seek out.
Oh, really?
No, I mean,
Well, let me ask you this. When you were
pick
a kid...
a card.
What am I thinking right now? When you were a kid...
Okay.
Did you watch any of those magic specials like David Copperfield was on, like on those other things,
man.
like the David Blaine stuff?
Yeah, when David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch that stuff as a kid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you like believe like, oh my god, magic's real?
No.
Or at no point did you ever think that it was real? You just knew it was like a trick.
It's just amazing. I can see the show business on it. I understand that there's something going on.
Okay.
But it's fun. It's fun, like making your brain. Like it does something cool to your brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It does.
Because like you kind of like when it's done well, you kind of like there's a suspension of disbelief that's kind of like a fun place to live in for like the millisecond that you're there.
Yeah, because we know magic doesn't exist.
Sure,
but wait, but how did he get over there?
Huh? What? Yeah.
It's like, could it be magic? No, well, clearly it's not. But damn, all right, that's a cool trick. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's neat.
You know what movies should have been better, I think, and should have gotten those Now You See Me movies?
Okay.
I feel like those could have been cooler. I think that they all thought they were really cool in those movies, but it's a lot like when Jesse Eisenberg tries to be cool, it's just like, nah. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. Okay. I'm good.
Is that what took you out of it?
I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's that like the Social Network. He was so good in that movie, and that you kind of hate his guts.
Oh, okay.
That like it's hard for me to trust Jesse Eisenberg as an actor anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't trust you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Huh.
Okay, if you were gonna, I dropped the 20-sided die. Great job,
forever.
Grant. Professional podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. Are you? If you were gonna be a magician, like what direction do you think you're gonna go? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like if you had to pick a
close-up
magician,
magic or like illusions
and like a persona.
Oh.
Like what kind of vibe do you think you would want to go in?
Well, knowing me the way I know myself now, I think it'd just be like I'd probably do a really good job of just close-up magic, just kind of just being just nonchalant and just kind of like lulling you in with the robotic tone of my voice.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm about to do is truly no big deal.
Yeah.
But like, holy crap, how the hell did he just do this? Like, I know, right? It's pretty neat.
If I were writing your magician character.
Okay.
If we're okay with a little mini fix it here. If I'm coming up with a magician persona for Adam Lash, I like the idea. I think and I don't think I've seen this before. I'm sure it's been done, but I've never seen it.
Sure.
I think you being a like you are the magician, but you are skeptical of of what your magic is. Almost the tricks happen as you are trying to explain to people how the trick works.
Oh.
And it works out in a way that is not how you're explaining
My
it.
words are misdirecting what's going on.
You're like,
it's part of the misdirection.
You're like, wait, how did that, what? No. Okay, we got to explain this again. And then it like happens again. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a little bit of like of practical Adam making
whimsy happen and not understanding how the heck it's happening.
Yeah, what? Like, yeah, I think that could be really fun. And that would be really hard to like rehearse.
Yes.
And really hard to perfect.
Yes.
But that level of misdirect is really fun.
Have you ever watched, is it Fool Me? Fool Us? It was on
the one with Penn and Teller?
Penn and Teller's show with Allison Hannigan.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of very talented magicians out there.
Yes.
Who are like,
yes.
Yo, this stuff is like, because it's like, oh, I'm old enough. I know magic is not real, but like, I don't know where you hid that card. I don't know when you took it. I didn't know when you moved it from one place to like I know the physics. Like, physically something had to move from here to here. You had to misdirect my eye, but like, yo, the showmanship. This is nuts. That's so good. Yeah. You know what? Because those. Oh, do you remember? Late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Okay.
It was when the X-Files was still on.
Because
Mitch Pileggi. Whoa! Mitch Pileggi
I'm out of my depth
was
here,
the
pal.
guy who did the VO, who was like the masked magician or whatever, who was showing us like these are how you do the tricks, and like here's the thing, it's under the shirt, and it's got like little use shot for your torso. I was like, oh my god, this stuff is amazing, because he was on X-Files. He was the FBI.
Okay.
He's Mulder and Scully reported to him.
Sure.
He was also on Stargate Atlantis.
Okay.
Anyways,
man.
But
he mentioned Stargate. Everybody, everybody drink.
Everybody drink. But
Adam, our resident Stargate apologist.
There's nothing to apologize for. That show was amazing. That whole franchise
that's why
is great.
You are our apologist.
But that whole like, hey, this is the stuff behind the tricks. There's a whole science and illusions and just showmanship behind how to hide these things and do a thing. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time, at least in my life, was like, okay, so now I know there's a formula behind this stuff. Oh my god, I need to know this formula. I need to know how they do this. I just need to know. And then now as an adult, it's like, you know what? I don't. Like, I get, like, clearly something, you moved a card, you shuffled, you had to be able to do a thing. Like, I know there's a logic and physics behind all this stuff. That's really cool. Yeah. I don't know when you did it. That's neat. Yeah. This is nuts. You know what? I'm better off not knowing. Well done. Man, isn't this fun, everybody?
Yeah.
That thing disappeared. How do you pull up 4 aces? I don't know. This is crazy. When that switch happened? I don't know.
If you had to write a magic persona for old Jaybird,
Fantastic Andrew!
Yay! What would be the vibe? Like, how would be the presentation?
You know what? Do you remember the Amazing Jonathan?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that would actually, yeah.
I think the Fantastic.
Okay, I think
the Amazing Jonathan helped with the Magic Show Goes Wrong.
R.I.P. dude. That's really sad. He died too soon. But yeah, his act is, I think, as far as like being a comedian and a magician, he was like the sweet spot. Yeah. He was the guy. Mm-hmm. I think it would be like Amazing Jonathan, right? Yeah. I think it'd be like Amazing Jonathan, but like with tigers. Like I want to go full Siegfried and Roy, man. I want creatures, mostly birds, probably, just beautiful birds. Yeah, man. Oh man, did you see when Fantastic Jaybird pulled that ostrich out of that dude's torso?
Oh my god,
yeah, dude! Whoa, what a big old bird out of a tiny little man.
Now, are they actually birds, or are they your female assistants who you just think look like birds?
I think there'd be this layer.
D, you're a bird, D.
I think there'd be this layer that like maybe like my assistants were the birds, and I like kind of like you
morph them,
and I morph them as the show goes on between birds and assistants. Like the whole time, like my sweet bird ladies. Yeah, man. Yeah, Fantastic Jaybird, and his menagerie of assistants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
aviary of assistants?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love it. I would be terrible at magic, I think. I just, I kind of wear it all on my sleeve. I think that'd be part of it.
It'd have to be. You'd have to lean into it.
Yeah, I think be like, hey, I'm an easy read, you guys, and that in using that as my that's my prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think The Prestige is Christopher Nolan's best movie.
I would agree.
I think that movie is like you are hard pressed to find a flaw in that film.
Yeah,
from shot comp, from casting, the whole shebang.
Story, yeah.
The twist.
The hints along the way that it's like, I truly was telling you the entire time what the twist was.
Yeah.
I told you. I told you every time.
David Bowie to be Nikola Tesla. Yeah. It's all gold. It's all gold in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to just quit all this and just like train to be magicians for a couple of years?
It's too late for us, bud.
You just got to believe in yourself, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just do it. Screw it. Let's end the podcast right now and just go buy some cards and some exotic birds and make a go of it.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yep. What could possibly go wrong?
It's fine. Nothing. I could actually transform Amanda into, a scarlet macaw.
Sure. Or I could accidentally
be able to trans.
I might actually cut your son in half.
All right.
What? It could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like?
Yeah.
That'd be a great trick.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, this is the mind for comedy that I really love. Yeah, man.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You just turned Amanda into a bird. I can't.
Yeah, I didn't cut her in half.
Use your baby as
My
a
boy,
prop during
my
a
sweet boy.
You wouldn't use your son as a
Oh
prop.
man, this segment's supposed to bring us together. You cut my son in.
Oops.
Oops.
Oops to your sons.
Well, that's been Roll for Convo, everybody. My favorite segment. How dare you pull a Samson on my boy? Not Samson, Solomon. There we go. Gonna get my biblical characters right for when we fix that one.
Any day now.
Any day now.
Any day.
Yep.
Well, Jay's giving me the energy that it's time to move on to his next favorite segment.
What led you to that? Maybe me saying, well, that's been it. It's been fun. All right. So Pacific Rim Uprising 2, or Pacific Rim 2 Uprising, Pacific Rim Uprising. Before we get into this film, we should probably just have our lovely producer Brian, who's the best producer you can ask for, who also happens to be, just one mistake away from the bread line.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we're gonna
feed him to the kaijus.
Yeah, feed him, turn him into a bird.
Make him join the aviary.
Yes, man, keep him in my menagerie. Yes, one small step away. But our lovely producer, Brian, why don't you let us know all the fun facts that we need to know about Pacific Uprising 2 in my absolutely most favoritist segment, the best segment we do, period, full stop, and roll that beautiful bean fun fact footage.
Abracadabra, gentlemen, and poof, producer Brian here, because today we're trying to fix 2018's sequel to Pacific Rim Uprising. Directed by Stephen S. DeKnight and written by him, Emily Carmichael, Kira Snyder, and T.S. Nolan, it stars John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, Callie Spaney, Jing Tian, and Charlie Day. This movie cost around $176 million and made $290.9 million at the box office. Most of that money came from the international release, as it only made $59.6 million in the US. Overall, it needed to make $350 million to break even. It did not. Here are some fun bean facts. Charlie Hunnam, who starred in the first one, couldn't join because of a schedule conflict with his King Arthur movie. There's an anime series on Netflix called Pacific Rim: The Black. And if you care, this movie has a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. The original has a 72%. Anyway, back to Kaiju, gentlemen.
Thanks, Brian.
Good job, Brian.
Great job, Brian.
Way to pilot that Jaeger by yourself for a half second.
Yeah, man. Way to drift solo, homeboy. Yeah. I felt cool for like a millisecond saying that, and then the rest of it kind of dropped in, and
Yep.
I regret nothing, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't feel bad.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh,
we are so drift compatible right now.
we're so drift
This
compatible.
this
so you
this
said-
Jaeger's just everything's
They even
fine.
use that music in this movie.
Once incorrectly.
Yeah.
They
It was
used it.
during the montage when they're getting all the Jaegers back built up, and they were treating them putting rocket boosters to get them fast as something we really cared about. We're like, well, you've built rockets. You have this weird rocket technology. We could use that. And everyone's like, yeah, let's go get them. And I'm like, no one cares, dude. I was like, we've seen rockets before. There's nothing, like, I appreciate that you have found a new energy source, but, like, this is what we've been building to with a montage? No, thank you. No, I'd rather, what? We're probably sending these recruits to certain death. We should probably be training them a little more, but I went
We don't have time for that. But before we get too much further into the movie,
Yep.
I think it might be a good idea for those of you who have not seen it in a long time. I would understand why. Also, it's not streaming anywhere, which is
It's literally nowhere.
crazy.
It's astounding to me the way it's not anywhere. Yeah, the first one's not anywhere either.
The first one's not anywhere.
It's hilarious to me.
That one should be somewhere. It should be somewhere.
Yeah.
Jay, why don't you hit us with that plot drop? That's how you do it. That was not you enjoying it. Jay, we are drift buddies.
I know.
We pilot this Jaeger of a production company
Okay.
together.
I'll
I
give
know
you-
what that laugh is.
I'll give you the right response. Give me that. Give me
Okay.
that. Give me
So
that.
Jay, why don't you give us that plot drop?
Oh, wow. Doesn't feel good, does it? Doesn't feel good, does it? Welcome to the entirety of the Pokemon of the Detective Pikachu episode. Doesn't
I made
feel
you
great.
cry, sir.
I understand,
I
but
gave you a gift.
Yeah,
Don't
but you
be coming over here.
Even in the
you
comments,
ungrateful.
even in the comments, people were like, Adam's really undercutting Jay's energy in a way I didn't enjoy, and I was like, thank you, comment. I appreciate it. Get him. You know, we like to keep our comments positive as much as we can, but sometimes they're calling a spade, and you, sir. How dare you? Plot drop. Okay. Here comes the boom. Hey, so we closed the rift, and the Jaeger and the kaiju stopped coming. But apparently, like the world has kind of fallen apart for some reason. Literally, that's what they explain. Well, the world's kind of gone to crap. Okay, why? Oh, well, the reasons. And so we have John Boyega is apparently the son of Idris Elba.
Yes.
That's never. That's just he. Okay. He's like kind of an outlaw and was in the Jaeger program, but like fell out. And he's a scrapper and an outlaw now. And then upon finding a young scrapper girl who stole the thing that he was trying to get, they get picked up by the Jaeger and sent back into the Jaeger program in order to stop them from getting arrested. Okay, great. The Jaeger program is like kind of on the outs because they don't really need them anymore.
The kaijus are gone, man.
The kaijus are gone. We're not really sure what we're doing with this, but we're still training people on how to use them. They're kind of being used as a police force. Because apparently we're in a post-apocalyptic situation. Because reasons. They bring up the fact that there's what are they called? The progenitors?
Yes, it was I have it written down, precursors.
The precursors. I think that's progenitors, precursors.
They're all the same thing.
There's this alien force that like they mention for a millisecond in the first one and becomes a huge part of the second movie because of reasons. Apparently they're moving from the Jaeger program to a drone system that has been brought by another rival robotics company. They're from the people that make the Jaegers that Charlie Day works for, and he's trying to get these drones online and approved by the government. Apparently, once they're going to make this deal, they get attacked by a rogue Jaeger, and the rogue Jaeger takes out the Gypsy Avenger, which it's... Are we not supposed to say that word anymore?
Gypsy?
Yeah.
Oh.
They name that character that, and they spell it differently.
Oh.
But I'm like, hey, I don't think we're supposed to say that anymore.
I think in certain contexts we're not supposed to say that anymore.
Right? It just it felt weird the whole time because they kept saying it, and I was like, I don't think we're supposed to. I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't know. But okay. So they fight. Long story short, the one character from the first movie that was decided to be in this movie gets murdered in a helicopter crash in that fight.
Well, we got to give people a reason why they're angry with the contractors.
Yeah.
The military contractors.
Yeah. They gotta they're like, we need these drones to fight these rogue Jaegers, even though we don't know where the rogue Jaegers are from.
Mystery.
Yeah. So basically, we come to find out eventually, the Jaeger pilots go and investigate this rogue Jaeger, and they find a lab that is apparently owned by the company that is making the drones. And when they defeat that rogue Jaeger, they pull it out and realize there's a kaiju brain inside of the Jaeger.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
yeah.
god! Oh,
so the
no.
drones get
Oh my
approved. The drones go through, but we find out that someone has put kaiju DNA inside of all the drones, and so the kaijus take over the drone bodies and use those drone bodies to attack and destroy all the Jaegers, and also begin opening a rift.
They morph.
Yes, they embrace them. Yeah, they're biological ramifications of the morphing grid. These kaijus. So the kaijus come out and attack, but the Jaegers are all destroyed. So they montage fixing them and putting on rocket boosters that they're also impressed by. Come to find out that Charlie Day has been influenced by the kaiju brain he has in his house, and
he never got off the kaiju brain from the first movie.
Yeah, he's being influenced by the precursors, and so he is letting the kaijus through so they can take over. And then big kaiju comes, well, 3 of them, and then the Jaegers show up to fight them because they're trying to eat Mount Fuji. I'm not even kidding. That's
right.
Literally what the kaiju's trying to do.
That's right.
Kaiju's trying to eat Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
And they morph together, and the Jaegers win. John Boyega space drops a Jaeger into the thing and murders it. Mm-hmm. And that's the end of the movie. That's literally it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more, but
no, it's really yeah.
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 I think the best way of talking about this movie is quickly going back.
No, that's been lock
you're
drop. That's how you do it, man.
Oh wow, yeah, it's cool.
Man, we're kind of
we're a little snippy.
We're getting a little spicy
We're a
today
little
with each
spicy.
other. I don't know why.
I
don't know why. I'm actually I'm having a lot of fun with you today, but part of me just wants to nip at you.
You want to just kind of poke me a little bit?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, this is where the magic comes from, you know.
I think we just need to what was so good about Pacific Rim 1 that they clearly didn't do in Pacific Rim 2.
They just did the thing in the first one.
Yeah.
They gave us just enough to care about what's going on, and they gave us cool robots and cool monsters, and then they let them fight. Mm-hmm. That's I mean, that sounds oversimplistic, but that's it.
Well, I made a couple notes because
hit me.
This is
okay.
So you're right. The music was really good, right? They used it throughout the first movie, and they only used it for that montage in the second one.
If I'm being honest with you, I thought the music was fine. Everyone's like, "Man, the theme," and I was like, "I don't actually care about it. I don't."
But it did subconsciously help those fight scenes.
Yeah, and it did feel iconic. It felt like it was like they nailed the vibe.
Mm-hmm. The vibe, exactly.
Yes.
So it was also a very simple
story.
story.
You saw the vibe here?
I felt the vibe with this one.
Oh my god!
I know.
That's a big deal.
I know. And thematically in this movie, everyone was on the same trajectory.
Yes.
Everyone's trying to. The world is down.
Yeah.
The Jaeger program is down. Our main characters are down. Everyone is trying to build back up against the clock.
Yes.
To be able to take out these kaiju.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's down. It's bad for everybody, and everyone's moving in the same direction. In the sequel, no one's moving it. Barely anyone's moving in the same direction. Or we don't spend enough time to realize what direction we're all moving in, because the bad guy in the second one is corporate espionage, not kaiju.
Yeah.
Which is this movie's supposed to be about kaiju, and it's about like military contractors.
Yeah.
It's a big. The best, and the other good thing about the first movie was that all the character growth built towards them being able to use the Jaeger better.
Yes.
Because our main character's brother died in that first opening scene, and that was literally in his head the entire time.
Yeah.
So him able
because it's in the system.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
So him able to overcome his own personal issues to be able to drift with Mako.
Yeah.
And like come to terms with it allowed them to be like, oh, finally the power up we needed to now we can finally drift together. The same thing. Like it all worked towards the end battle, and now we're finally working as a team. I'm over my issues. Here we go. We're a family of kaiju fighters. This is great. Here we go. There's none of that in the second one.
Yeah.
None of those things are together at all in the second movie, and it's just because the tone in the first one is way more serious.
Yeah.
There's some jokes and there's some levity, but like, no man, like the world's at the brink. Like we're in trouble. So many people are dying. We are the last line of defense. If we fail, we are doomed. Okay, we gotta take it seriously. In the second one's, it's goofy.
Yeah. It's just not, and it's overcomplicated by half. And also, we don't get an actual kaiju until the third act.
Yeah.
I think, like, it's so interesting. It's so visceral and simple. But, like, when the bad Jaeger shows up and they have to fight it, my, like, gut and, like, my lizard brain goes, no. The robots don't fight the robots. I don't want robot fights. I want robot monster fight. That's not.
This isn't Real Steel. I can watch that movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah. This is not Rock'em Sock'em Robots. This is robots versus monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Please and thank you. I don't want this. And also, I don't fundamentally understand the world that they gave us, and I think that's where I immediately just like can't take this movie seriously at all. They explain that society has fallen apart, and then every indication of society that we see after that looks completely functional.
Oh yeah, the
like
final,
everything's falling apart, and I was like, there's still skyscrapers, and then people working on them being like, oh my god, and I'm like, why would they?
Did you see the building the military contractors working? Like that's that's
the
state of the art. Everything's great here.
I'm so sorry, but like if we're in a post-apocalyptic situation, no one works in human resources. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like
that's when you know there's the apocalypse.
The
HR department's gone.
I was like, who's in these big? Why do skyscrapers still exist then? What? These all look fresh and clean, but also, what city are they fighting in?
I think it was Tokyo, wasn't it?
Oh, I guess it was. Yeah, they're going to Mount Fuji. Mm-hmm. So, is that where Mount Fuji? I don't even know. They don't even. Why does it need to?
Yeah, there's some really good ideas in the movie.
Yes, and here's the thing, the robot monster fights, pretty dope.
Sure.
When the guns move around the body on that one, I was like, ooh,
sure,
ooh,
yeah.
And that's why I show up to it. I want to feel the whole time while watching a movie like this, just like,
can you believe we're doing that? That was neat.
Yeah, like it's not Shakespeare. I just want to eat popcorn and have a great time. And this is just like, there's also so many characters that just don't matter. Well, they are training kids.
Yeah. Which
could be, if they just focused just on that could be interesting. Well, if we Ender's Game this thing.
They did did you ever watch,
if you're about to tell me another source material,
No. There was a Netflix series. Oh, it was the Pacific Rim,
I did not watch that, no. The answer is a fast no.
Dude, watch it.
I know. I'm sure it's probably great.
It's really good.
But I shouldn't have to watch another show to like your movie.
This has nothing to do with the movie.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing. It's the idea of like, oh, kids piling a Jaeger, done right.
Okay.
Whereas this movie is like, hey, we got a bunch of, older teens doing all this kind of like, hey, you know what? You've just lessened everything in this movie because I'm not taking this seriously because they got a bunch of teenagers doing this stuff.
Yeah.
That's not, we're the adults.
Yeah.
This is only why.
Yeah.
Because you didn't spend any time with these characters. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And now they're in fights, and we're supposed to care about them. I don't.
Yeah.
So like, we didn't even spend enough time with our main characters to like really care.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. What? Why'd you make it kids?
Yeah, I don't know. This movie just I don't at any point. They also didn't really have any of the characters really from the first movie, except for Charlie Day, the guy from Torchwood.
Mm-hmm. This is how I refer to him as. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name, but I'm just like, oh, Torchwood guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, the lady who plays Mako or Mako. I don't know.
I pronounce it Mako, but I think I'd be wrong.
But they also kill her out pretty quick, and I was like, well, that is the power of a good agent, ladies and gentlemen. They got her out of this thing quickly. I also they didn't necessarily like flesh out the characters enough in the first one for me to actually care about her in the second one, to a degree that was like.
The only people we needed to really care about in the first one was Mako and
Raleigh.
Yeah, that was it. And we spent the most time with them because we needed them to figure out their stuff so they could drift together.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. In this movie, it seems like everyone's drifting with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, everyone had maybe some of their own issues in the drift, but like for the most part, like everyone's compatible with everybody. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to who's compatible with who. Just like, oh no, just throw people in. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Where that was like the central theme of the first one. We needed somebody who could actually sync up with each other. That's why brothers were doing it together, fathers and sons were doing it together. Like, it was a big deal. Even though we didn't have the characterizations of like the Russians, but like when they get murdered in the second act during that fight, you're like, oh, that's a family that's just gone. Yeah. Oh no, oh that's horrible. But we had enough information to actually, care a little bit when they start dying.
Dip in enough to be like, oh no.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Yes.
Because it's just giant robots fighting.
But in this one, they didn't have.
They tried to make it more personal with like the drift stuff with Scrapper Girl.
Mm-hmm.
But like it just didn't quite. Also, her flashback was so lame. When the boardwalk crashes and the dad's like, jump, and I'm like, that's a 20-foot jump. That girl is 9. She ain't making that. You're saying jump? You should say run. Stay there. We'll come get, or just, I don't know, hope you know how to swim, right? I don't know.
No, and her story was this is Mako's story all over again.
Like, oh, my parents got smashed. And I was like,
that's got that crouch.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, it seems like a lot of people got the smash.
A lot of people got crunched, Jay.
I can understand that like society kind of collapsed because the infrastructure was destroyed by kaiju, but like show me the ramifications of that. Expand this world, please. Also, like it being post-apocalyptic does not play into what you're trying to make happen. It doesn't track. I don't know.
It doesn't. Yeah, tonally there was no central theme to this movie. The tone was all wrong compared to the first one.
Yeah.
The casting was. Just the script was bad because it just focused on kids doing a thing. Like,
but the robot fights were pretty baller, man.
The robot fights were all right.
They could have been better though. But also, it was like when he was like pulling the skyscrapers on top of the kaiju. I was like, why are there? How are there these buildings still here?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Why is any city around the rim of the Pacific right now? They should all be abandoned.
Oh, but I want to go eat Mount Fuji. Yum, yum.
Get it in me.
Is Mount Fuji a volcano?
Apparently, possibly, technically.
Did they just make that up? Is that actually true?
I think so.
That makes Mount Fuji way cooler.
Might be dormant.
I gotta know that.
Do you want me to type it up?
Yeah, type it up. I want to know if Mount Fuji is actually a volcano. Because that makes Mount Fuji way cooler. And Mount Fuji is already pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as mounts go, pretty good. Pretty iconic.
Mount Fuji. Is Mount Fuji still an active volcano? Oh, it's got apparently several overlapping volcanoes.
That makes Mount Fuji so... I understand why they wanted to eat it now.
It sounds so tasty.
Yum, yum. Get it in me. Look, if you're that big, magma's probably delicious. Especially if it's got all the good metals.
It's still active, though.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mount Fuji's baller. Okay.
But the last time it erupted was about 300 years ago.
Interesting.
In 1707.
Okay. Get after it, Mount Fuji.
Get you some Mount Fuji.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hop on that motorcycle. Get out of here. Pick up Helen. She'll hop on back. I don't know why I'm personifying
gotcha.
volcanoes over here. Yeah, man. Meet up with the Vesuvius and
Have at thee.
let's party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Pacific Rim Uprising. What a stinker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big letdown.
It's really a huge letdown because of all the movies we've ever done, like I think disappointment is like the biggest, because the first one was such a surprise.
Yeah.
And what a pleasant delight. We don't get movies like that very often anymore. Like
really
just
don't.
good popcorn flicks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a perfect like summer blockbuster. I am looking to sit in the air conditioning because it's 100 degrees out, have a nice time. I'm not going to really think that much about this movie after that. And that's fine. That's fine. Like it was like good to see like this is like the best way to make. This is high artistry for maybe a lower form of entertainment.
Sure.
If that makes any sense. Which is a refreshing thing to see.
Yeah.
And then the second one could have just been more of the same with funner robots and cooler monsters. They just had
Nope.
like, man, there's that cute girl that like is kind of maybe into John Boyega, and she has like 4 lines, and it's like, oh man, they cut her out of this thing. It's like, why is she here? And then like suddenly she's helping from the computer, and I'm like, this character is unnecessary.
Yep.
They like, why did they give her a name? Why is she in it? Dude.
The first movie was so cool. They had the lady do the from Portal do the voiceover for the computer, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And the music and the action was great. And then this one, they just didn't do any of that, and it just felt wrong.
No.
Just those robot fights didn't feel as cool.
No, because we had to slog through a bunch of stuff to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, this is it.
The character interactions in the first one were not a slog.
No,
They were them like
they were also
all actively
snappy.
They were also like going towards a goal of we need to become better pilots.
We are driving this. Everything we are doing is driving the plot forward.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. We got to figure
A
this
lot
out.
of this was like for character development that didn't end up mattering in the end
Nope.
at all.
Nope.
And then like that random, I feel also there are some people in this movie that I was like, they're famous in another country. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yes.
I was like, they'd be like, this person. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
But another
I'm
market
sorry.
probably does.
Yeah, I was like, another market is loving this. I don't care. And also, when people, I will say, the one thing about the Jaeger, the concept of Jaegers is that when they needed to find a better way for the people to run while inside of the Jaeger thing,
Right.
because when they run inside of that, they look dorky as hell.
With the clamps on
They're like, they're running like
they're
running like Ezra's Flash in a way that is a little. They look like they're ice skating through through trifle, and I'm not having it. Not having it.
Fair.
We should probably fix this thing.
We should get to the fixes.
Yeah, you're going first.
I am going first.
You're going first.
Okay. This is just right down the pipe, guys. This is gonna be nice and easy.
I think these are gonna be our fastest fixes because it's just just give me something simple and fun.
These movies need to be simple and fun.
Yeah, if my fix is longer than 10 minutes, I'll be shocked.
We need to just expand the universe a little bit with a couple of story ideas, but for the most part, we just need to get robots fighting kaiju.
Yes,
as fast as possible, as frequently as possible.
Yeah.
So here we go. Jake is the same, still John Boyega, but it's clear he didn't want to join. He didn't want to continue in the Jaeger Corps because he felt like he couldn't live up to his dad's legacy. Like we get that because that took like a while in the movie. I think like an hour or something like that before he actually said what was going on, like why he left.
Yeah.
This time it's just we do it at the beginning. I am Idris Elba's son. I left because I didn't want to be under his shadow because he was just so awesome and amazing. Because he is. I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. So I'm doing this other thing. I'm scrapping for parts. Amara is also the same. She's also scrapping. She's making her own.
She was
Jaegers.
Scrapper Girl, right?
Yeah, she's a scrapper girl.
Okay.
But
Amara
this time,
was her name.
Amara, yeah.
All right.
But also she's 10 years older.
Okay.
Everyone here is an adult.
Yeah.
Or a young adult.
Yeah, she's not 12.
No, she's not 12. She's the same age as John Boyega because they're dating. Like that's.
Oh, okay.
They are in a relationship.
Yeah.
But they both like are coming from two different worlds of like him in the Jaeger program.
That being said, I like the actress that played that character though.
Nothing against the actress. She did a
She
fine
was great.
Yes, she
I
was
liked her
great.
a lot.
She was great. Just the part was written not fantastic.
No.
But she's 10 years older. They are the same age.
John!
They are.
What are
they're
you
dating.
talking about, Dad? You're an idiot, Dad.
Get crunched, Dad.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
So this time it's only.
Maybe the precursors were right.
Oh wow!
I know.
It's only 5 years after the events of the first movie.
Okay.
Because there was a decent time jump in the second
Yeah.
one. There's like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah,
no,
it's,
only 5 years. Earth is still rebuilding. We're still on the edge of everything.
Yeah.
No one knows if the kaiju are coming back.
Yeah.
There's no like everything's fine. We don't need to worry about Jaegers anymore. Like no. We
closed the gate,
closed
but
the
like
gate, but
we don't
like-
even know how that one got opened. So
we're still like we
Yeah.
gotta operate on the guys that like, hey, they could come back at any moment. We are lucky we've had this much time.
Them pretending like they had won was hilarious to me. I was like, guys, this could. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So we start the same basic way with an underground Jaeger fight, and
Underground Jaeger fight.
and and John and Amara, or I'm sorry, Jake and Amara, are stealing parts and stuff like that. Amara has a rival, and it's a good fight because Amara's the one piloting, and it's a good fight. And after a while, right before like Amara's about to win, the actual Jaeger Corps shows up to break it up,
Yeah.
and they arrest Jake and Mara again, just like in the normal movie.
Oh.
Because they were looking for
Our
Jake.
fix is kind of similar.
Because they're looking for Jake.
Yeah.
So Mako and Riley bring Jake and Amara back to their base, and also Ron Perlman, who is in the sequel, right?
Ron Perlman's in this. Where is he in the sequel?
He's one of the guys who was a black market dealer of.
That's right. That's right. Of kaiju parts.
Yes,
Yeah.
he goes up to Amara's rival and has a business opportunity for her.
Okay.
But we don't see what that is.
All right.
So basically, Jake and Amara are pitched a Top Gun situation
Yeah.
between Mako and Riley. We're the only pilots left after the first movie, and so they're tasked with recruiting a bunch and training the next generation of the best of the best. So there's also another military contractor out there who's
Yeah.
also trying to take this opportunity to be like, well, now that we have peacetime for a moment, like this is an opportunity to cash in.
Yeah.
And we could do the ones, we can make all this money making Jaegers, training pilots to be the world's safety net.
Yeah.
If the Kaijus ever come back.
Okay.
So Mako and Riley are like, no, we're in the Jaeger Corps. We're trying to keep this, if the country's involved. It's like, no, this is an opposite business trying to be like, rah, rah, rah. So, the same little tensions there, but like, it's
Sure.
just, we're doing Top Gun style over here. We're trying to train the best of the best for altruistic reasons, and they're trying to do it somewhere else. They're trying to do it for money.
Yeah. Okay.
But same,
I'm into it.
basic. Everyone's trying to protect the planet. We're trying to do it because it's the right thing to do. They're trying to make money off of it.
Yeah, we're trying to do it because it's the quickest way to get rich.
Yes, basically. And by the way, this all takes place in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This is all just the setup. Let's go. We gotta go. So Jake and Amara reluctantly join, but Jake won't do it without Amara. So Riley mentions that then you have to hurry because they don't know when the kaiju are coming back,
Yeah.
and we are on borrowed time right now.
Yeah.
And after he says that, we flash down to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, and we see just a small little crack forming. Because that never happened in this movie until like the third act.
Yeah.
So like we didn't know that there was menace anywhere. No, menace. Immediately,
Yeah.
hey, they're coming back.
Uh-huh.
So Act 2, we meet the other pilots, and they're all adults. Everyone here is a young adult, somewhere in their 20s. And
Because it's the military.
yes, and we're gonna do the big. We're just
And if you are conscripting kids, you need to explain to me why that's necessary.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
Mhm.
If you don't. And this movie did not do that. We're all children. Why? Because that you read Ender's Game? That was pretty cool, right?
That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. The
Yeah,
exit's down, right?
That's pretty cool,
Cool.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, man. No one from the first movie wanted to come back, so that we're the cheapest option. That's what really happened. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah. So we're gonna do Top Gun. We're just doing Top Gun with Jaegers, and we're gonna get the same characterization of these other pilots like we did in Top Gun.
Okay.
Like we knew who the other pilots were in Mav and Goose's unit.
Yeah.
But like we knew Iceman decently well, and we knew a couple of the other ones decently well, but we didn't know all of them. The same basics thing. We're gonna know a few of them decently well. Some of them we're just gonna know their names and their faces, stuff like
Yeah.
that. The same basic stuff. But once we get to them like sorting out, everyone kind of meets each other. We kind of get the hey, this is what's going on. We gotta figure out how to man these Jaegers. We got some new Jaegers. Blah 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 blah. They get do the whole presentation, and then Jake and Amara are going to be piloting Stacker's Vengeance.
Yeah.
So because they rebuilt it, I know it was his dad's Jaeger, so like he's probably the best one to because his dad was in it, so like he should do it.
Yeah.
And so Jake's all like, I don't want to be in my dad's shadow, but like I don't want to use his Jaeger, but I
Yeah.
guess I kind of have to. Blah, blah, blah. So now we're gonna just we're gonna do like Top Gun. We're gonna do like a bunch of training montages of like we're gonna see a bunch of Jaeger and kaiju fights now, but they're all sims. But we're gonna see the fights.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the fights, but like it's all sim stuff. But doesn't so we can just go crazy because we see these guys training, and it's good because they really need to train because while they're training, Jake and Amara are gonna be drifting together, and we're gonna start using the drift as like dealing with their emotions and their issues and stuff like that about Jake not feeling like not up to the task of being his father's shadow. Things of that nature, like his father didn't love him, things like that. Because he has beef with Mako because like Mako was kind of like his stepsister, all sorts of stuff. He's dealing with it while they're training. But all of a sudden, as they're training, they get a breach. They get a detective breach, and everyone starts freaking out, and they scramble the Jaegers. Because like, hey, we are okay at this, but we're not entirely ready. But it turns out the breach that they discovered.
Which is fine when they're like adults, and I'm like, no, they're just dealing with their nerves. They're not unprepared children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just dealing with like adult issues about how to be able to
No, I
sync
think
with
Top
another
Gun
adult.
is the perfect foil for this.
But it just needs to be
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
So they've detected a breach. They scramble the Jaegers, and it turns out this breach was human-made, and it was the military contractors that were doing it.
Because they want kaiju parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will want to go to where the precursors are and strike first.
I want to be where precursors are.
And they want their technology.
We want their brains. Those giant kaiju brains.
This is where we introduce Charlie Day into the movie.
Oh,
He's
okay.
working for the contractors.
Riding a Jaeger and walking on, what's the word? Feet. Running real weird with my best friend. Our brains are linked to the end. Don't go crazy. You will be a precursor.
Don't sue us, Disney. Charlie Day is not mind controlled
Okay.
in this movie. He just wants. He's like he jacked into the drifted into a kaiju brain. And
Yeah,
was like,
man.
oh, I need to know more about this. We've only just scratched the surface of what's going on there. We need to know more, and that is driving me towards going to there.
Yeah.
I want to go to there. So he's helping the contractors because that's their plan.
Yeah.
Our Torchwood guy is on Team Jaeger's side. So the Jaegers fight each other as the breach opens up, and the squad of controlled Jaegers enter the breach. It's so our Jaegers. So basically, our Jaegers show up just as the contractors' Jaegers jump into the breach.
Yeah.
They're like, "What the heck's going on? Wait, you're provoking this? Why are you what?" But their ambush is unfortunately doesn't work out because the precursors, although not mind controlling Charlie Day, are able to see through his brain because he did
Okay.
link with them.
Yes.
So they did know that it was coming.
So they're spying.
They were spying on him.
Gotcha.
So they saw the attack coming. The military contractors get wiped out,
Oh no.
and then
Yeah.
but
Greed, hubris.
and now the precursors have an opportunity to go through the tunnel that the contractors made. Oh. So now we get kaiju, and now our main characters actually get to fight real kaijus, going for the first time for real. And awesome kaiju Jaeger fight! Oh my god, tricks and trades and people are pulling off things that we saw in the montage or from earlier from training. Like they're actually doing it now for real. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so cool! And people are doing stuff, and the pilot, the voice actress, we got her back. We paid her more money. She's back. She's saying all the things. It's really cool. Thankfully, the kaiju are defeated, and the breach is able to be closed. But unfortunately, the breach is not closed, but the kaijus are defeated, and everyone's really angry at each other.
Yeah.
And just as they're bickering and back and forth, another breach opens. But this time, it's in the Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
That's on the other side of the world.
Oh no.
And they're just getting sensors, even though they can kind of read, like, wait a second, if this is a big something massive is coming, and all of our defenses are here. There is nothing protecting the Atlantic.
Okay.
What do we do? So everyone starts freaking out. And then Charlie Day has this great idea. He's like, okay, well, yes, okay, I'm really sorry. Precursors were spiraling through my brain.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to. But here's the thing. With the breaches open now, I can spy on them. And I've figured something out. Where they're opening the breach is the same place in Precursor World. And where it's, because one's opening here in the Pacific, right?
So they're like interdimensional beings. Is
Basically,
that what we're
yeah.
led to believe?
I think they're interdimensional beings.
Okay.
So Charlie Day realizes that they're opening their breaches between the Pacific and the Atlantic are in the same physical location in Precursor World.
Okay.
So if we send our Jaegers that Charlie Day was able to outfit, because remember they needed to use a dead kaiju body to go through the breach.
Yes.
He was able to, because it's been 5 years, make armor and stuff with enough kaiju stuff to be able to travel.
Into Precursor territory.
Right. If we
bring the fight to them, yes.
If we go through our breach in the Pacific down into Precursor World, right?
Yeah.
Then we can travel. Then it's because it's the same place, and then travel up the Atlantic Bridge to get over. So we can travel to the other side of the world just by traveling through the breaches.
Yes.
And also we can take the fight to them.
They're planeswalkers now. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
So okay.
And we get to see that world, which is cool as hell.
Yes.
Yes.
So everyone scrambles. Like, okay, here's the thing. And Amara's rival shows up because she's now able to help out. So she's going to be in one of the because on the company's Jaegers. So they're going to they can so everyone's getting their moments. Like, okay, so here's the plan.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of time. Something huge is coming in the Atlantic, and London's about to get wrecked. We need to go. So everyone finally gets on the same page here. I was like, okay, great. So our main cast and crew. Amara's rival, who's the few remaining business companies, Jaegers. Everyone jumps into the breach. Everyone goes down. We get down there. We get to see what's going on here real quick. Unlike the first movie, just like, what is that? Gypsy danger in the background. Oh no, we actually get to what is? We just get a general sense. We can explore this in later films or whatever, but it's a general there's something. Okay, this is nuts. Everyone else heads to the Atlantic Bridge, back up to the Atlantic, but Gypsy stays behind to close the breach to the Pacific.
Yeah.
And the plan was they're gonna close the breach to the Atlantic but get out before it closes. Because they needed to leave somebody behind, and Mako and Raleigh already did it once, even though they nuked it. And they lost their Jaeger. I was like, no. I think we can do it this time if we do X, Y, and Z story reasons.
Yes.
And we will come up. So everyone travels up. They fight a little bit, and they're able to travel up the Atlantic breach to get to fight this massively huge-ass giant Jaeger that's about to take on London. Yeah. And Gypsy stays behind. But as everyone's going up to the breach to take on the monster, the radio gets cuts out because it sounds like Gypsy might have gotten overwhelmed.
Okay.
Because they had to fight a little bit through the stuff.
Yeah.
Some minor mini bosses or whatever in Precursor World.
Absolutely.
So they get up to the Atlantic, okay, they get out of the breach and oh, it's about to attack London, and they're able to get there, and there's 5 Jaegers with our main cast and Amara's rival and stuff, and everyone's fighting. The Jake and Amara finally get the sync right because this is the moment we've all been leading towards this.
Yeah.
Oh, they gets over his issues. They find out they really love each other. They got over the trauma. Oh, the superpower we needed. And everyone fights the thing, and all of a sudden it's a big ass kaiju, and everyone's getting knocked down because this battle's got to have ebbs and flows, and at a giant ebb, oh no, all the Jaegers are down. Everyone's trying to figure out their stuff. London's the Big Ben's already down. The Atlantic wasn't ready for this. Everyone's fleeing London. Oh no! And all of a sudden, Gypsy Danger is able to crawl out of the breach and come through the thing. We're still here.
Let's party. Yeah.
They do that big blast, which gives everyone time to rally, and then Vengeance gets to stand up, and Jake and Amara get the kill shot, and everyone's yeah, we did it! Jaegers, woo! And that's it.
That's it. That's all it needs to be.
That's it.
That's dope.
So the war just started.
Yeah.
We can now both attack each other.
Yes.
Okay.
In the third movie, we're taking the fight to them. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
We need to no military no guys, this is not over. We all need humanity needs to get on the same page.
Yep.
We need to unify. This is not over yet. The whole planet is under attack by extra-dimensional aliens that are sending monsters.
Yeah.
Clearly this isn't over.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, and they're not gonna stop unless we stop them.
Da-da-down,
Yes.
ba-da-down.
I love that.
Easy. Just copy all the things from the first one, expand it slightly, expand the conflicts just a little bit, play that music a lot.
Then build towards a finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go fight them.
Yes, absolutely.
In the third movie, like, we're the kaijus.
Yeah, man. We're the kaijus now. I'm the kaiju now. Okay, my fix. Okay. My Pacific Rim 2.
Mm-hmm.
It opens on the final one of the final sequences in Pacific Rim 1 of Gypsy Danger falling through the rift and them jettisoning and blowing up blowing up the gate and like whatever's going on like precursor wise down there. It kind of like we see that happen, and then we realize that it's like kind of like a recreation of that moment. From like a precursor, like, you know, hollow screen.
Oh, okay, cool.
When we see and then the shot pans out to like precursors who are using all of their like high tech technology to kind of like reverse engineer that moment. And then you see like alien technology like picking all the pieces of Gypsy Danger up and like reconstructing the Jaeger together.
Ooh,
like clearly, like the area has like been completely destroyed.
Sure, of course.
Then the rift is closed.
Right.
But like they are learning about our tech through like reconstructing all the like
whatever
exploded
parts of
pieces
Gypsy Danger was still there.
And then we cut to kind of an exposition of what's become of humanity since the events of the first film. We have seen huge jumps through all the kaiju parts that we have, huge jumps in biotech, and also huge jump in regular tech, because like the Jaeger technology has kind of like started to get out there.
Sure.
People realize its importance.
Yeah.
Instead of humanity having fallen apart, humanity is like thriving,
Starting to come together a little bit.
like we defeated like we won in the first movie.
Yeah.
So we should be doing great. You know what I mean? It's like having to rebuild and everything. That's also that's also employment. You know what I mean? Like economies would be doing very well. It would be a good place. The Earth would be a great place to live because it's safe now. So the Jaeger program is in full swing. They are like fully prepped. They're like, we won, but like we are doing research every day to make us better in case they ever come back. But one thing that has come through the proliferation of Jaegerdom, we cut to. I'm still having John Boyega in this movie. Yeah. We get there is been a proliferation in Australia, because there's enough space in the middle of Australia for this to happen. And the Australian government has kind of like sort of signed off on it. The world writ large is not really feeling great about it, but there has been a kind of a pseudo underground Jaeger fighting league.
Sure.
And
like
a lot of these Jaegers we get to see like a lot of cool and weird Jaegers and the weird pilots that they have.
Sure.
And John Boyega has been making his way up the ranks.
Made his way.
They're like, oh, whatever his character name was, I can't even.
Jake.
Sure. His name's Jake. His character and his Jaeger partner X. Nobody knows who his partner is.
Partner X.
And we find and we get the exposition over like his Jaeger, but like these Jaegers are like kind of, they're clearly like a little bit more homemade.
Sure, yeah.
It's kind of like it's a little bit it's not quite as high tech, but and it's him in like an underground Jaeger fight. And him inevitably winning, and we find out towards the end of the exposition that Drifter X, his partner, we realize is it is a facsimile of it is like an AI of himself that he's drifting with. And we find out from his tech person, Amara was her name, right?
Yes.
Where she's like his engineer after he won the fight, like, and he's like not doing well, and she's like, you need to find a drift partner. You can't keep drifting with this AI of yourself, like you're tearing yourself apart. And he's like, after everything I've been through with these things, he was like, I'm a hell of a pilot, but I can't, like, I haven't been able to drift with anyone since I left the program. You know that. Like, and he's like really mad about it. Like, clearly he's self-medicating with drinking and stuff like that.
That's good, dude.
And we eventually find out that, like, he's kind of in a bad way financially. Like, some stuff has gone sideways, and so he gets approached by some unsavory characters that's like, this is the fight you're going to take. And he looks at the thing and he's like, what the hell? I'm not doing this. This is, I don't even know how this is possible. This is suicide. I'm not doing this. And they're like, well, you owe us a lot of money. So yeah, you're going to do it. And it inevitably, like, we get all the cool announcements. We see, like, how the internet treats, like, kaiju fights and stuff, and like all the marketing and stuff behind it. Maybe there's a crowd there, but they're like in the middle of the desert in Australia. Because, like, dude, in Australia, like, in the middle, there's nothing.
There's nothing. Yeah.
Like, so we get all this stuff, and we see that what he is not fighting another Jaeger. He is fighting, we don't know how they got it, a full-on kaiju. And we find out that, like, there have been black market people that have been using biotech to build their own kaiju. And so they want to take the Jaeger fights and turn it into kaiju Jaeger fights with kaiju that humans have built.
Okay. Yeah.
Now the fight goes kind of tits up for Jake. But at the very last moment, we see the actual official Jaeger team show up with Riley and whoever is, let's say Mako's with him as well.
Sure.
And with Gypsy, and they kind of stop the fight, and we see Gypsy Danger having to fight this, or Gypsy Avenger in this case, having to fight this kaiju. And eventually the kaiju gets to a point where it kind of like has pinned down Gypsy Danger, and it basically like kind of like vomits all over Gypsy Danger and then dies. And they're like, oh, Gypsy Danger won the fight. Like, can you believe this? What an amazing
Can
finale.
you believe it?
And they're like that. But there's kind of like a moment with Raleigh, and he's like, that was too easy.
Something's wrong.
I don't know I mean, I'll take it, but then that gets written off as like, well, this is one of those like fake, this is one of those biotech kaiju they keep building. I don't know why they keep doing that, but
Crazy bastards.
Yeah, exactly. But Riley, like after the whole situation has gone down, he realizes who is in the other Jaeger, and he's like, Jake, like, and he's like, hey man, like, they're gonna kill me. Like, this wasn't how this was supposed to go down. Like, I'm in big trouble. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And they're like, you need to come back to the program. Like, we can protect you in the program. He's like, I'm not coming back to the program. You know why I'm not doing that? And Riley's like, I don't think you have much of a choice. It's like, shit. He's like, I'm taking my tech with me, though. Like, she knows Jaegers. And he's like, oh, okay.
Fine,
so
whatever. Yeah.
Amara and Jake go to like the full-on Jaeger program, and we get an exposition dump why Jake left in the first place, as he's explaining to Amara, and we see that he's still in this point. I think he's still Idris Elba's kid.
Yeah,
like I think that's actually
good.
great.
Yeah.
There was aspects of that I think were really good if they had just given a crap.
Yep.
I don't know. And we see him we see basically like him and his issues with like independence and trying to prove himself with his dad getting his previous Jaeger partner killed while in training.
Okay,
that's
like, good.
And he was like, I don't mind putting my own life on the line, but I'm not putting someone else's life on the line anymore. Like, trusting someone like that is, I don't know. I don't know if my like spirit can handle that again. And they're like, well, you're going to have to figure it out. And then, so we get more Jaeger training, and it's just like, it's not going well with Jake trying to, and he's like, look, I can just like help fix the Jaeger. Like, I don't have to be a pilot. And they're like, you're too good of a pilot. Like, you have to be.
We need your help.
We need your help.
Yeah.
Like, these buttholes keep making new kaijus. Like they like nothing's wrong. Like nothing's wrong with that. Like, I don't know why they keep doing that, but they keep doing it. Eventually, there is a breach, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is the first breach in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got to go check this out. Like, it's small, but we have to investigate."
Yes.
And so everyone suits up. Jake isn't there, but he's like watching on because he's not cleared to fly yet.
Makes sense.
And so Raleigh and Mako are in gypsy danger, and we got all the other the Jaegers with. And when they go to investigate, they're like, "Oh, it's we can monitor this. It's not big enough for a kaiju to pass through yet, but like this is like clearly an issue." Gypsy danger completely freaks out, goes nuts. We see we see like all like that whatever that fake kaiju barfed into.
Gypsy.
Barfed into Gypsy, like, goes nuts, and like he starts like arming the breach and starts opening it. And we see the breach opens, kaiju comes out, and the Jaegers get absolutely body rocked by the kaiju that comes out.
Oh no. And
we realize one thing we've also been setting up at the base is that Charlie and Torchwood are also there.
Yes.
And comes after this happens, it comes to light to Jake, who's with the two of them, like watching this all go down, that Charlie and Torchwood were the ones that supplied the kaiju, because they've been working on that on the side.
Oh no! Oh,
but they have been influenced in a more subtle way. They were like, we thought it would be fun to build one. We didn't realize it was going to do that. Oh, this might be our fault. Oh no! The precursors like have influenced us. Like, we're compromised. Like, this isn't going to go well. And they're like, and we may have inadvertently added certain things to the current Jaegers that might not work. And basically, like, all of like the Jaegers, like the ones that aren't destroyed, like Gypsy and like, let's just say another cool one, kind of get influenced by the kaiju.
Sure.
And so we got a giant kaiju and two rogue. Like, I like the idea, if they are influenced by the kaiju, they got all like they got like weird bio stuff, like an Akira situation happening. They are like making their way towards Mount Fuji because they want to eat it. Because why not? I would say it's a magical choice they made. In that movie, so stupid. They're going to Mount Fuji, and so we got to go fight them.
Sure.
So John Boyega has to recruit all of the like weird, like
the guys I met in the first
the
act.
offshoot Jaegers, like the homemade Jaegers that have all the weird weapons and stuff, and he basically has to like bad news bears fight the kaiju and the Jaegers while also like saving the pilots that are in them.
Yeah, because they're trapped inside.
Yes. So that's pretty much the movie. Like, they save the day, and inevitably, in order to go to fight like Amara is inevitably becomes Jake's drift partner.
Right.
And she's like, you got to trust me. And he's like, you don't even know what you're doing. And she's like, yeah, but we got you. I'm just here to back you up, dude. And he's like, he learns to trust again, and that's his whole journey, is that like he learns how to become a Jaeger pilot on his own again.
Yeah.
So that's like the personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and I like the idea of, like him saving Raleigh and like them having like a kind of a heart to heart about it, like through Jaeger comms while he's like being actively.
Yeah, because Gypsy can probably still talk, but he's
they're
he's out of
trapped
control.
in
Yeah,
there.
trapped inside. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like him giving him the pep talk. I mean, like, you're gonna have to trust
Oh,
someone.
like
in order
his
to,
dad
like,
did to Riley in the beginning of the. Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, that's really good.
Exactly. So that's kind of. I also just love the idea of like kind of like homemade Jaegers with like weird ass weapons and stuff. Did I write them? No, but we could get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's that moment It's the end of Act 2. Oh no, everyone's compromised. We don't have any Jaegers left. And then Jake goes, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's not entirely true. Smash cut to
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Guys,
We gotta go.
we gotta go. And it's everybody we met in Act 1 being like, and just like, the hero shots of all those homemade Jaegers, the low lighting,
Yeah.
the spin.
It's like we're not designed for actual combat. And it's like, well, let's figure it out. And so, like, the montage. Yeah, if you're going to have a Jaeger building montage, that's the one where it's like you take all the weird and wacky weapons they have and like, soup them up. Mm-hmm. You know, little Tim the Two-Man Taylor with that.
Ben presents.
Yeah. So that's mine. That's it. That's all it needs to be.
All it needs to be.
Cooler monsters, cooler, funner robots.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Underdogs once again being called into the fight that are not ready, but somehow got to save humanity.
And you give your hero an actual journey. Also, like him, like drifting with himself is kind of fun.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, and I also would love to see what underground Jaeger fighting would look like.
That's
like,
great.
Actually,
yes. That's a good idea. There's plenty of really good ideas to do in this universe.
Yeah.
You should. I think it's called Pacific Rim: The Black.
Oh.
I think that's the name of that
Oh,
Netflix
I see what
show.
you're saying.
Yes.
Okay,
Pacific Rim: The Black. I think it's like 24 episodes or 20 episodes. Dude, it's good. It's real good.
Yeah.
Especially after the movie, because it came out after the second one, and I was like, "Hey, I think we could do better. We could do better by this IP," and they did. It's a really good cartoon. Some crazy stuff. I'm just
Shouldn't have to
now.
watch it to enjoy your second movie.
And you don't. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do.
Okay.
It's just its own little thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're looking for more hot, intense Pacific Rim action,
I'm not anymore. That second movie salted the earth for your boy.
oh, okay.
Really, there's no coming back for it for me.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it really put it in the ground.
Oh. Sorry, bud.
Yeah. Well, I mean that it really speaks to how much of the first movie really ran a razor's edge. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like that those movies people are like, "Oh, it's just monster fights. It's pretty easy." I'm like, "No, in order to nail it, you really have to it's not easy. Making a movie like this a success is not easy."
Nope.
But
they got it in one.
well, we fixed it, my dude.
We did fix it, my dude.
Whew. What are we fixing next week?
Thor 2: The Dark World.
Okay, I want to add a new layer to the fixing here. And we talked about this earlier, but I don't know what you're about to tell me.
Okay.
So this is my new favorite segment.
Well, this is a new segment.
Next week. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible.
That's terrible.
We'll come up with a good one.
We'll
Don't
figure
worry.
something out, I
What
guess.
do you think we should call this segment? We are fixing Thor 2 next week. And in order to mix it up and keep it light, keep it fresh, and keep you guys excited for the next week's episode, we are going to issue each other. And this is only going to be for ones that we kind of already have a good handle on the source material.
Yes, this one's.
We're not gonna come out swinging every episode here. But I think this one is perfect for Thor 2. Like, we know the MCU like the back of our hands.
Yes,
so I think
we
we
do.
need to make it a little bit more difficult. So
Okay.
I am going to issue each other challenges
Okay.
for each other's fixes.
Okay.
So we are fixing Thor 2.
Right.
Adam, for
Yes.
your fix,
Okay.
I am issuing you the challenge
Okay.
of I would like you to have in this movie, I would like there to be some aspect and some part of the plot being foreshadowing of Jane's importance and Jane embracing the power of Thor.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
probably not what you were thinking.
That's not what I was thinking.
But I think that's a good enough challenge for you, because I think that you don't have to get crazy.
no,
with that.
because she was important to the script, but in not the best
Yeah.
way. She was just a damsel in
So
distress.
that
the
is
whole
my
time.
challenge for you for your Thor 2 fix.
Somehow foreshadowed Jane being able to pick up the hammer at some point.
Yes.
Huh.
And I need it to be it can't just be like a and it doesn't need to be a huge plot point,
Sure.
but it can't just be one shot.
Right. It can't just be like what Cap did,
Yeah.
and like when
No,
the
no,
hammer
no.
nudged in Age of Ultron,
Yeah, that was great.
which was great.
That may be my favorite scene in Ultron.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that's where that's good. where you get to see everyone just hanging out.
Just hanging out, being buds.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's my challenge?
Your challenge, let's see, for Thor 2 is I
don't like that. I don't like that laugh.
would like you to expand Thor's universe a little bit.
Okay.
And I would like you to somehow incorporate Beta Ray Bill.
How dare you? Okay. You know what? Sure. You know what?
They
Game
teased
on.
him in the third movie.
Game
you
on,
know
dude.
what? No. Let's go. They did not do a good job of giving us a bad guy in the movie. They should have given us, somewhere in these movies, Beta Ray Bill should have shown up.
Okay.
A horse-faced Thor is not crazy.
Yeah.
In the MCU we have right now, that's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy. Okay. So I have to incorporate in my fix of Thor 2 the character Beta Ray Bill.
Yes.
That's okay. You know what? Challenge accepted. That's a lot harder than the one I gave you.
Possibly.
You know what? But let's get nuts, man. If we're doing it, let's do it. Oh, that's.
But we know
great.
the MCU like the back of our hands, Jay.
But as always, if you were listening to this on the day that it comes out on Tuesday, if you would like to come hang out and watch Thor 2 with us, we'll be doing it on the Discord Wednesday night at 8 p.m. The link to join the Discord's down below, and it's in movie watch-alongs. It's easy to do. Also, if you're listening to this and you are going to be at New York City Comic Con,
that's right, yeah.
Or you just live in the New York City area, we are doing a little get together, a little meet and greet on Saturday, October 14th at Jake's Dilemma in the Oak Room downstairs, from 7 to 10 p.m. We'll be doing a little PeachCon. We've got some surprises in store for you guys. Come say hi. Come meet us.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Buy me a drink.
No, you don't have to do that. You didn't have to do that.
No, I just you can.
But Jay won't say no.
That's ridiculous. Sorry, that was a bit much. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys. Yeah, and as we end every one of these episodes, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the that you don't hear coming.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.